Hello everyone. It is good to have you with us again. This time, we have reached the final conclusion of the story. And in this final episode, we are going to take a step further, beyond the noise, beyond the rude words, beyond the anger, beyond the nationality of the people involved. Because the most important question is not simply, who was wrong? The deeper question is, what can human beings learn from what happened? So, let us continue this journey together. This is the final episode. And this is the story of the guest, the host, and the lesson every country must learn. From the previous 2 episodes, we talked about loud voices. We talked about rude language. We talked about the way people respond when they are asked to stop. We talked about the attitude that says, I brought money into your country. We talked about teachers, adults, schools, families, and the responsibility of young people. But now that we have reached the final episode, perhaps we need to stop and ask ourselves something uncomfortable. What about Thailand? What about Thai people? What should we learn from this situation? Because if we talk about the mistakes of other people, but never turn around and look at ourselves, then we are not truly learning from the situation. We are simply releasing our anger, and anger may make us feel better for a moment, but anger alone does not make society better. This incident made many Thai people feel angry, and that feeling is understandable, because many people saw a woman simply asking a group of people who were making excessive noise to lower their voices, but instead of receiving cooperation, she was confronted with rude words, laughter, disrespectful gestures, and a response that made many people feel that she was not being treated with basic respect. And this is what made the situation more serious. It was not only about noise. The deeper questions were, why should someone who politely asks for cooperation become the target of verbal abuse? Why should someone who is trying to protect peace in a public space be laughed at? And why were the adults who were present unable to stop the situation before it escalated? These are important questions, and they are questions that should be asked in every country, not only in Italy, because every country has young people, every country has teachers, every country has schools, every country has parents, and every country has adults who carry responsibility for the next generation. So the question is, are we teaching our children to become successful, or are we also teaching them how to become good human beings? Because those two things are not the same. A child may be highly intelligent. They may speak several languages. They may understand science. They may be talented in technology. They may be confident enough to travel around the world. They may have access to opportunities that many people never receive. But if they do not know how to respect other people, then all that knowledge may not help them live peacefully with others. A person with knowledge, but without responsibility, can sometimes create more damage than a person with little knowledge, because they may possess ability, power, money, confidence, and enough opportunity to cause serious problems for other people. That is why education should not teach only. You must succeed. Education must also teach. When you succeed, how will you treat other people? It should not teach only. You have the right to express your opinion. It must also teach. Having the right to speak does not give you the right to destroy another person's dignity. It should not teach only. You are free. It must also teach. Your freedom ends where your actions begin to harm another person. These are the basic principles of living together, and they are lessons every society must learn. Now, we must return to Thailand. Thailand is a country that welcomes visitors. People travel to Thailand to rest, to work, to study, to exchange cultures, to experience something new. And many Thai people are genuinely happy to welcome people from around the world. That is a good thing. Because opening ourselves to people from different cultures allows us to learn. It allows us to see differences. And it reminds us that the world does not have only one way of thinking. But opening a country to the world does not mean allowing everyone to do whatever they want. Welcoming someone does not mean accepting humiliation. Being kind does not mean allowing someone to step on your dignity. And being a good host does not mean allowing a guest to destroy the rules of your home. Let us think about something simple. If someone comes to visit our home, we welcome them. We may prepare food, prepare a place for them to sit, talk with them, and take care of them as well as we can. But what if that guest walks into our home, breaks things, shouts at the people who live there, insults the owner of the house, and then says, "I brought money to your home"? Would we still consider that person a good guest? The answer is probably clear. It does not matter who they are. It does not matter which country they come from. It does not matter how much money they have. And it does not matter what social status they possess. That kind of behavior is still inappropriate. This is something Thailand must understand. And it is something every visitor must understand as well. Traveling to another country does not mean buying the right to own that country. You may pay for a hotel room, but you do not buy the hotel owner. You may pay for food, but you do not buy the right to insult the people serving you. You may pay for a train ticket, but you do not buy the right to disturb every other passenger. You may bring money into a country, but you do not buy the dignity of the people who live there. And this is a lesson every traveler should understand. Not only Italians, not only Europeans, not only Asians, everyone, including Thai people. Because if we want foreigners to respect Thailand, Thai people must also learn to respect other countries. If we do not want foreigners to insult Thai people, then we should not travel to another country and insult its people. If we do not want other people to judge Thailand through prejudice, then we should not judge an entire nation through prejudice either. This is fairness, and this is maturity, but at the same time, we should not use the phrase, "do not generalize," as a way of making the problem disappear. Not generalizing does not mean we are forbidden from criticizing bad behavior. We can say, "This behavior was inappropriate," without saying, "All Italians are like this." We can say, "The teachers in this situation should have acted more responsibly," without saying, "All teachers from that country are irresponsible." We can say, "This group of students should take responsibility," without saying, "All young people from that country have a problem." This is the ability to distinguish, and a mature society must know how to distinguish. Because if we criticize without distinction, we can easily move from demanding accountability to creating hatred, and hatred has never solved a problem. Now, we also need to talk about some Thai people whose behavior may contradict the very things we are asking from others. Some Thai people create content using abusive language. Some deliberately mock Thailand. Some teach foreigners how to insult Thai people. Some do it for views. Some do it for money. Some do it because they want to appear different from ordinary Thai people. And some may believe that insulting their own country makes them look modern, independent, brave, or courageous enough to speak the truth. But we must understand something. Criticizing your own country is not wrong. Thailand has problems, and Thai people have the right to talk about those problems. We can criticize the government. We can criticize systems. We can criticize laws. We can criticize public services. We can criticize society. And we can criticize certain cultural practices. But criticism is different from humiliation. Pointing out a problem is different from despising people. Saying, "This needs to be improved," is different from saying, "All Thai people are worthless." Saying, "Thailand has a problem in this area," is different from saying, "There is nothing good about Thailand." We must distinguish between these things. Because loving your country does not mean pretending that your country is perfect. No country is perfect. Thailand is not perfect. Italy is not perfect. And no other country is perfect either. But loving a country does not mean denying its problems. And seeing problems does not automatically mean hating the country. A person who loves Thailand can say, Thailand has problems. Thailand needs to improve. Thailand needs to reform certain laws. Thailand needs to improve education. Thailand needs to improve transportation systems. Thailand needs to take better care of its people. And that same person can still love Thailand and still want Thailand to become better. This is the difference between loving a country with awareness and loving a country with your eyes closed. On the other hand, a person who criticizes Thailand does not automatically hate Thailand, but criticism must be based on reality, not hatred, not lies, not the humiliation of an entire population, and not the use of being Thai as a weapon against other Thai people. This is something we must learn, because sometimes, some Thai people say, foreigners can behave this way because some Thai people allow it. But the truth is, the fact that some Thai people accept something does not mean that all Thai people accept it. The fact that some Thai people present Thailand in a humiliating way does not mean that Thailand as a whole accepts that humiliation. And most importantly, Thai people should not allow one group of Thai people to become an excuse for foreigners to disrespect all Thai people. No one has the right to speak on behalf of every Thai person, and no one has the right to hand Thailand over to others and say, you may insult us. This is something we must understand. But defending Thailand should never become hatred toward foreigners. We do not need to hate Italians because a group of young people behaved badly. We do not need to hate all tourists because some tourists behave inappropriately. And we do not need to close the doors of our country because some people do not know how to respect others. What we need to do is create clear systems, create fair rules, and make it clear that Thailand welcomes visitors. But everyone must respect the law, respect public spaces, and respect other people. This principle should apply to everyone, Thai or foreign, rich or poor, tourist or resident, because good laws should not discriminate, and respect for the law should not depend on how much money someone has. This is something every country must learn, and Thailand must learn it too, because if we want foreigners to respect our rules, we must make our rules clear, fair, and seriously enforced. We cannot sometimes allow wealthy people to do whatever they want, and then suddenly become furious when a major incident finally happens. Because when society allows inappropriate behavior to pass again and again, people may learn something dangerous. They may learn, just do it, nothing will happen. And when there are no consequences, the behavior may happen again. That is why creating rules is important. But enforcing those rules is equally important. The same principle applies to education. A school may have rules, but if those rules are never enforced, children will not learn. A teacher may talk about manners, but if a child behaves badly, and the adults simply laugh, the child will not learn. A country may have a beautiful international image, but if some people are never taught responsibility, that image alone cannot control everyone's behavior. So building a good country does not begin with making other people believe that our country is good. It begins with teaching the people inside the country what it means to be a good human being. And this may be the most important lesson of all. We should not teach children only. Do not damage the reputation of your country. Because if children believe that doing something wrong becomes a problem only when someone records it, then we have taught them the wrong lesson. What we should teach them is, do not hurt other people. Even when no one is recording, do not insult other people. Even when no one is watching, do not break the rules. Even when no one can catch you. Because goodness should not exist only because we are afraid of being exposed. Goodness should exist because we understand that our actions affect other people. This is the difference between controlling people and developing conscience. Control makes people stop when someone is watching. conscience makes people choose what is right even when no one is watching. And this is what every country should want. Not merely people who fear the law, but people who understand why the law exists. Not merely people who fear teachers, but people who understand why other people deserve respect. Not merely people who fear cameras, but people who understand that their behavior affects the people around them. This is the kind of education we should be building. And this is something Thailand must think about as well. Because Thailand has its own problems. We have tourists who do not respect the rules. We have Thai people who damage the reputation of the country. We have people who believe that money gives them permission to do anything. We have people who use abusive language to gain views. We have people who destroy traditions, and then say, "This is modern." We have people who say, "I love Thailand," while destroying the very things previous generations worked to preserve. This is something we must be brave enough to admit. Loving Thailand is not simply wearing a shirt with the national flag. It is not simply saying, "I love Thailand." It is not simply becoming angry whenever a foreigner insults Thailand. Loving Thailand also means preserving what is good, having manners, respecting older people, giving dignity to others, taking care of public spaces, not throwing rubbish on the ground, not destroying public property, not disturbing other people with unnecessary noise, maintaining courtesy, and not making other people feel ashamed because of our behavior. Being Thai is not only about having rights. It also means having responsibilities. We cannot demand that foreigners respect Thai culture, while Thai people themselves destroy Thai culture. We cannot demand that foreigners speak politely, while Thai people create content based on abusive language. We cannot demand that foreigners stop insulting Thailand, while some Thai people teach them how to insult Thai people. This is a contradiction we must be brave enough to face. And recognizing that contradiction does not make us love Thailand less. In fact, it may help us understand what it truly means to love a country. If we genuinely love our country, we must be brave enough to admit what needs to improve, what must be protected, and what must not be allowed to disappear. Because culture does not disappear in a single day. Traditions are not destroyed in a single day. They may slowly disappear when one generation stops caring, and the next generation is never taught why those things matter. That is why we cannot simply say, "Preserve Thai culture." We must also explain, why should it be preserved? Because culture is not merely ritual. It is not merely clothing. It is not merely words. Culture is memory, experience, and the way previous generations learned how to live together. Some things may have far greater value than we realize. A Y may look like nothing more than two hands coming together, but behind that gesture is respect. Speaking politely may seem like nothing more than choosing different words, but behind those words is the recognition that the person in front of us has feelings. Not making excessive noise in certain places may seem like a small matter, but behind that behavior is the understanding that a public space belongs to everyone, not only to one group of people. And this is an important lesson. We do not have to like every culture, but we should respect cultural differences, as long as those cultural practices do not violate the rights of others. At the same time, we should never use the word culture as an excuse to harm another person. Culture is not a license to insult people. Culture is not an excuse to hurt people. And being a foreigner is not an excuse to say, "I did not know." Because when we do not know, we can ask. When we do not understand, we can learn. When we make a mistake, we can apologize. And apologizing is not defeat. Apologizing means recognizing that another person has feelings, and accepting responsibility for what we have done. In the situation, the fact that some students later apologized is something worth thinking about, because it reminds us that even people in the same group do not necessarily think the same way. Some may do something wrong. Some may laugh along. Some may remain silent. and some may recognize that what is happening is wrong, and choose to step forward and apologize. This is the difference between human beings, and this is why we must not generalize, but at the same time, we must not use the refusal to generalize as an excuse to avoid responsibility. The person who did wrong should take responsibility. The people who witnessed what happened should help stop it. The adults should do their jobs. The school should review what happened. The organizers should learn from it. And the country of origin should reflect on the incident, not to create humiliation, but to prevent the same thing from happening again. This is what real learning looks like, because a mistake has meaning only when we learn from it. If we make a mistake, and simply say, the incident is over, without asking, why did it happen? Then we may make the same mistake again. If a school takes students abroad, and something like this happens, the school should ask, were the students properly prepared before the trip? Were there enough teachers and supervisors? Were behavioral rules clearly explained? Did the students understand what to do when problems occurred? Did everyone know who was responsible for what? And did anyone speak with the students afterward? Because sending students home may be one measure, but sending them home is not the entire lesson. The students must understand why they were sent home, what they did wrong, who was affected, and what they should do differently next time. If a student returns home still believing, I did nothing wrong, then punishment may not create learning. But if that student returns home understanding, I caused trouble for other people, I used inappropriate words, I should not have used money as an excuse to insult another person, then education has truly taken place. And this is what adults must do together. Not merely condemn children, but teach them. Not merely punish them, but help them understand. Because the purpose of education is not to make children afraid. The purpose is to help children grow, to become responsible human beings. And this is something every country should take seriously, Thailand included. Before we take Thai children abroad, we should teach them that travel is an opportunity to learn, not an opportunity to make themselves the center of the universe. We should teach them that being Thai does not mean everyone must like us. It means we should respect other people. We should teach them, if you do something wrong, apologize. If someone corrects you, listen. If you do not understand, ask. And if you see your friend doing something wrong, do not laugh along simply because you are afraid of being excluded. Because sometimes, having the courage to say, stop, may be difficult, but it may also be the right thing to do. And this is also a lesson for adults. Because some adults still behave like children when they are surrounded by friends. They laugh along even when they know something is wrong. They remain silent even when they know someone else is being harmed. Or they refuse to intervene because they do not want trouble. But sometimes, not stopping a problem allows it to become much bigger. And this is something teachers, parents, supervisors, and leaders must understand. When we are given responsibility for other people, we must be willing to do what is right, even when doing what is right is not the easiest thing. The responsibility of an adult is not to make children happy every second. It is to help keep them safe, to help them learn, and to help them grow. Sometimes a child may be unhappy because they are being corrected, but being corrected does not mean an adult hates them. Sometimes a child may become angry because they are being stopped, but being stopped does not mean an adult wants to destroy their happiness. Sometimes a child may feel embarrassed because they have to apologize, but apologizing may be the first step toward growing up. And this is what we must teach. Not only Italian children, not only Thai children, but children everywhere, because the world of the future will involve more travel, more international interaction, more people working together across borders, and more differences. If we do not teach the next generation to respect differences, the world will be filled with conflict. But if we teach people that difference is not a reason to insult others, travel can become learning, cultural exchange can become understanding, and meeting people from different countries does not have to become a competition over who is superior. Instead, it can become a question of, what can we learn from one another? That is the true meaning of cultural exchange. It is not one side bringing money, and the other side being expected to accept everything. It is not one side possessing a passport from a wealthier country, and therefore believing they deserve more rights. It is not one side believing that they are more modern, and therefore believing they have the right to look down on others. True exchange begins with recognizing, we all know some things, and we all still have things to learn. We all have things we do well, and we all have things we need to improve. We all have cultures we are proud of, and we all have something we can learn from someone else. This is what it means to be human, and this is what makes travel meaningful. When we look back at what happened on the train, we may say that the situation began with noise, but what made it grow into something larger was attitude. Noise can happen, but the way we respond when someone asks us to stop reveals our maturity. A sentence may be spoken in only a few seconds, but it can reveal an entire way of thinking. A rude gesture may take only a moment, but it can make another person feel deeply humiliated. Laughter may be funny to one group of people, but painful to the person being laughed at. And when adults fail to stop a situation, the question can become even larger than the behavior of the children. Because when adults fail to do their job, children may begin to believe that what they are doing is acceptable. This is something every country must learn, and Thailand must learn it too. We cannot only demand that others respect us, we must build a society in which respect exists. We cannot only demand that foreigners have manners, we must teach our own children to have manners. We cannot only become angry when foreigners insult Thailand, we must also refuse to become Thai people who destroy the dignity of Thailand. For views, for money, or simply for entertainment. Because Thailand is not merely the place where we were born. Thailand is home. And a good home is not a home without problems. A good home is a home where the people inside are brave enough to admit problems, work together to solve them, and protect what is good. This is what loving a country means. Loving a country does not mean hating other countries. Loving a country does not mean believing that our country is better than every other country. Loving a country does not mean claiming that every citizen is good. And loving a country does not mean denying that the country has problems. Loving a country means understanding that our home contains both things worth protecting and things that must be improved. We preserve what is good, and we work together to change what is not. That is responsible love. And that is what we should teach the next generation. Before we conclude this story, I would like you to ask yourself something. If one day you travel to another country, and someone tells you that your voice is too loud, what will you do? Will you become angry? Will you think, I already paid money here? Will you think, this is your country? Or will you stop, listen, and say, I am sorry? Because sometimes, the word sorry takes only a few seconds to say, but it can stop a conflict from becoming much bigger. And if one day you see your friend doing something inappropriate, will you laugh along? Or will you have the courage to say, that is enough? If one day you are a teacher, and you see students causing trouble for other people, will you simply stand and watch? Or will you step in and stop it? If one day you are a parent, and your child does something wrong, will you protect your child from every consequence simply because they are your child? Or will you teach them to take responsibility? And if one day you see a foreigner behaving badly in Thailand, can you demand accountability without hating an entire nationality? And if one day you see a Thai person doing something that damages Thailand's reputation, will you be brave enough to admit that Thai people also have things to learn? These are important questions, because real learning is not only about asking, who is wrong? It is also about asking, how can we make things better? This incident should therefore become a lesson for students, for teachers, for schools, for parents, for tourists, for program organizers, for embassies, for governments, and for every type person. Students should learn that their fun should not create suffering for other people. Teachers should learn that when children are under their care, silence can sometimes make a problem worse. Schools should learn that educational travel requires preparation in manners and responsibility, not merely schedules and transportation. Parents should learn that raising a child does not mean protecting them from every consequence. It means teaching them how to face consequences and learn from them. Tourists should learn that money does not buy the right to insult other people. Thailand should learn that welcoming visitors should not mean allowing anyone to do whatever they want. And Thai people should learn that protecting the dignity of the country does not require hatred. We can stand up for ourselves without hurting other people. We can say, "This behavior is inappropriate," without saying, "Everyone from that country is bad." We can demand an apology without seeking revenge. We can protect our dignity without lowering ourselves. And this is true strength, because a person who can control themselves is not weak. A person who apologizes is not a loser. A person who admits a mistake is not without dignity. On the contrary, a person who can admit their mistakes is someone brave enough to look at themselves honestly. And a person who can apologize understands that the feelings of other people matter too. This is something every child should learn, and something every adult should demonstrate. Because children do not learn only from what adults say, they learn from what adults do. If we tell children, "You must respect other people," but we insult others ourselves, children will learn from what they see, not from what we say. If we tell children, "You must have good manners," but we use abusive language every day, children will learn from our behavior, not our lectures. If we tell children, "You must take responsibility," but whenever we make a mistake, we blame someone else, children will learn that responsibility is only a word. Therefore, building the next generation must begin with adults, and building a better country must begin with the people who live in that country, not merely by demanding that everyone else change, but by asking ourselves, "What can I change?" Because the world will not become better because every other person suddenly becomes perfect. The world becomes better when individual human beings begin taking responsibility for their own actions. One person chooses to lower their voice. One person stops using abusive language. One person stops insulting others. One person chooses to apologize. One person finds the courage to warn a friend. One person chooses to stop a child. One person chooses to protect what is good. And one person has the courage to admit, "I still have things to learn." This is how society changes. Not always through grand speeches, but through small decisions made by individual human beings. So when we look back and ask, how could something as simple as loud noise become such a big issue? Perhaps the answer is, because it was never only about noise. It was about respect. It was about how people respond when they are corrected. It was about power. It was about money. It was about education. It was about teachers. It was about adults. It was about travel. It was about the image of a country. It was about Thai people. And ultimately, it was about every human being. Because we must learn that we are not alone in this world. We may have rights, but other people have rights too. We may have a voice, but other people may need peace. We may have money, but other people have dignity. We may come from different countries, but the people around us are human beings just like us. And no matter where we come from, one thing should be universal: respect for others. This is a lesson Thailand can share with the world. And at the same time, Thailand must continue learning from the world as well. We do not need to believe that we are superior to others, and we do not need to believe that we are inferior to others. We can stand proudly on our own soil, while remaining open to learning. We can say, Thailand welcomes visitors, but visiting must come with respect. because a good guest does not have to be the same as the host, but a good guest understands how to behave when entering someone else's home. And a good host does not have to allow a guest to do everything they want, but a good host knows how to welcome people with courtesy, while also protecting the dignity of their own home. This is balance. The balance between openness and boundaries, between politeness and refusing to accept humiliation, between loving one's country and refusing to hate other nations, and between criticism and destroying one's own sense of value. In the end, we may not be able to change every person in the world. We may not be able to make every tourist behave perfectly. We may not be able to make every young person understand responsibility. And we may not be able to make every adult perform their role perfectly. But we can begin with ourselves. When we travel abroad, will we be good guests? When we see someone doing something wrong, will we laugh along? When we make a mistake, will we have the courage to apologize? When we see a culture that is different from our own, will we laugh at it? And when we love our own country, will we protect what is good? Or will we destroy it in exchange for views? The answers belong to us. No one else can answer them for us. Because in the end, every person is responsible for their own actions. And this is the real lesson from what happened on that train. It may have begun with a group of students making too much noise, but the lesson traveled much farther. It reached families, schools, teachers, countries, tourists, Thai people, and every human being living on the same planet, because we may not be able to choose what kind of people we meet, but we can choose what kind of person we become. We may not be able to control what other people say to us, but we can control how we respond. We may not be able to stop other people from doing something wrong, but we can choose not to do the same thing ourselves. And sometimes, social change does not begin with a powerful speech. Sometimes it begins with one person choosing to lower their voice, because they realize that someone else is resting. One person choosing to apologize, because they realize they were wrong. One person choosing to stop a friend, because they see that their friend is hurting someone else. One teacher choosing to do their job, even when the students are unhappy. One parent choosing to teach a child responsibility, instead of protecting that child from every consequence. And one Thai person choosing to love Thailand, by protecting what is good, instead of simply shouting, "I love Thailand," because love for a country does not always have to be loud, just as respect does not always need to be announced. Sometimes respect is lowering your voice when you know someone else is resting, stopping when you realize that someone is uncomfortable, listening when someone corrects you, apologizing when you are wrong, and continuing to learn, even when you believe you already know enough. This is something every human being should learn, whether they come from Italy, Thailand, or anywhere else in the world, because in the end, our nationality may tell people where we were born. Our language may tell people where we grew up. Our passport may tell people where we come from. But our behavior tells the world what kind of human beings we are. And this is a lesson no country should ever refuse to learn. Thank you so much for being with us today. And as always, if you are tired from the stories of the world, take a moment to stop, take a breath, and rest. Then continue learning with us, little by little. Because sometimes, stopping does not mean that we have stopped moving forward. Sometimes we stop, so that we can finally see what the moment in front of us is trying to teach us. I will see you again in the next story. Thank you sincerely to everyone who continues to watch, listen, support, and encourage us. If you believe this content is useful to you or to society, please consider liking, following, and sharing it with others. And if you have constructive suggestions that could help us improve the channel and the content, please leave a comment below. Every message matters. Every opinion can help us learn. We read your comments and your feedback so that we can continue improving and creating new stories and new content. You are now listening to Choice defined.